Mandy and Maurice decided to start a GoFundMe after they claimed they needed money to purchase a car and be able to do a few things to it so Maurice can drive it with his wheelchair, and a few other things like for Mandy to be able to help take care of Maurice because she claims that she had to quit her job and that they're just struggling to get by. Well, they started this GoFundMe with a $10,000 goal, and so far they've raised $80. And Maurice came out and he was calling people out on his Instagram stories. He said that he feels like once he got shot, he lost almost everything except his life. And he says he lost so much friends, nobody's checking on him no more, and now he feels like he needs to give everyone that same energy. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Once people find out that they can't benefit from you anymore, they just move on to the next. And Mandy posted on her stories and she said, as of recently, my husband had a wheelchair accident. He busted his toe open, his legs and lip. We rushed him to the doctors. We called the wheelchair company, who gave him a wheelchair with no seatbelt, which was the dumbest thing, no ever, and not to mention against California state law for a paralyzed person to not have a seatbelt on their wheelchair. I've been dealing with these people for days. As of now, he doesn't have a working wheelchair, and they have not replaced the broken one. Please keep us in your prayers. Like I said, donations would help with him getting a new chair and other things he needs. Then she shared a picture of his alleged toe injury from him falling out of his wheelchair, she claims. Then she shared a video. Well, she shared like a little montage. And this video, I'm not going to lie, it made me pretty sad. It's him in his wheelchair and he falls out and he can't get back up, and he's trying so hard just to lift his wheelchair with his legs, but he can't do it. And she shared these different other videos in this montage, like some videos of him on life support, him doing some physical therapy, him eating crab legs in the hospital after his injury. And then she said, so I shared some really unfortunate news from y'all little Reddit page. If you guys want true facts, come to the source. Please stop listening to others and just creating false stories. For one, it was our anniversary. We just got done eating and I was walking to the train at that time. We didn't have a car. Number two, the man bumped into us and my husband, being him, said, "Excuse me, you aren't going to say excuse you." And the man started talking ish, and my husband told the man, "We can fight if you got an issue." Oh my goodness. Remember in my last video we were just talking about this, like, you know, you can get victim compensation sometimes, but if you provoke the person, you can't get no victim compensation. And here she is admitting that he provoked the man. And he said, look, we can fight. And the sad part is, not only did Maurice provoke this man, but this man ended up not only shooting Maurice, but shooting an innocent bystander too. And the innocent bystander unfortunately lost his life. And it says, you and that man started talking ish, and my husband told the man, "We can fight if you got an issue," and the man didn't want to fight. My 6'6", 250-pound husband there, for he pulled a gun out and shot my husband. I called 911 immediately, and the 911 operator told me not to touch him nor move his body at all. Maurice was wide awake and talking to me the whole time, which is why I didn't lay my body on top of him and scream bloody murder. He was talking to me the whole time while I was talking to the 911 operator. Ambulance got to the scene in 3 minutes, took him, and they said I could not ride in the ambulance. I had to call Uber. There, by the time I arrived, he was already undergoing life-changing surgery. I was by my husband's side the entire time. Every day I was there, my husband is well aware of everything that took place that day. I would never ever set my husband up. That's my best friend. I have been there for him through everything, and his true people and family know the truth. The police found the suspect and the weapon, and this man has 5 attempted unalivings and 2 unalivings, that he was, and 2 unalivings. He was going around just shooting any and everyone. Okay, but if he had that many, then why isn't he in prison? And she said he was just doing that to anyone, everyone, so please stop the defaming my character. I am my husband's #1 supporter. I'm shocked she never posted pictures of this anniversary dinner, even if it happened before this terrible event, unless she did and I didn't know about it, because we know how much Mandy loves to flex everything. But that location where they were shot was right across the street from Fentanyl Alley in a really terrible part of town. And somebody in a Facebook group actually commented under a post about Maurice, and they were talking about Maurice's injury and how he's in a wheelchair, and they said, I think that wheelchair ain't stop ish. He was caught trying to steal a charger from the grocery store, ain't learned yet. And someone said, are you serious? And they said, beyond serious. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, me and my family. He said, I spend here so I can take what I want. Then she said he had his girlfriend with him, which is crazy, embarrassing. And she said that just happened recently. So it sounds like not much has changed between these two. And that's the thing. I think that's what frustrates people and why they're not having much success with their GoFundMe, with the money flashing, with the username Moneybag Mandy. Like, come on now. And then the fact that it seems like they want to use other people's money to pay for things that aren't so fun to buy, like wheelchairs, and or get the 5-figure discount on things like phone chargers, but they want to use their own money for things that aren't necessarily needs but wants, like vacations to Vegas and fat sacks of weed, because he was just showing off like an ounce of weed on his Instagram stories just the other day. I'm just confused why she hasn't looked into becoming his caregiver. And the thing is, she's always talking about how they're married and that they had this confidential wedding, or they had this confidential secret marriage. Well, if he's technically her husband and they're married, then they would be considered family members. And in the state of California, if you have to go on a leave to take care of a sick family member, you can receive compensation for the time off you have to take care of that family member, which Amanda should be eligible for if her and Maurice are actually married. And I feel like, why not do that? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can take care of Maurice while earning a check doing so. This is just the frustrating part for me. And I've even told Maurice this. I've had a conversation with Maurice after he was in the wheelchair and gave him this specific advice. I said, since you got so much downtime now, why don't you start vlogging your journey or talking about things and making a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And he said he was trying to do that. And Mandy has actually came out, and in one post she said that she was in the process of trying to get all this equipment so they could try to become content creators and start a YouTube channel. And here's the thing, I got a few things to say about that. I just don't understand, because he has a platform from being on the show. People watch them, they pay attention to them, and here is Mandy posting on Instagram, where I'm sure she's not getting paid, when she could be posting these things on YouTube and actually making money. But they're not going to be able to make a living unless they're consistent and actually treat that like a job. You actually have to put the work in, and he could easily do that. They're talking about, oh, we're going to follow the physical therapy journey. Like, if they actually did that and talked about like where he started and where he is now and what they see for the future, I think people would actually be interested to see that. But the thing is, I think they think, oh, we have to have the best of the best equipment. And I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They think that they have to have super fancy cameras, and they go all out buying all these things without even proving the business model first and proving the concept and if that's gonna work. And the thing is, like, when I started my YouTube channel, the first year of my YouTube channel, I made a living strictly from my phone. I had to save up. After a few months, I eventually bought a microphone that I could hook up to my phone. Then after about a year, I finally bought a laptop. I had to build up little by little. But they're able to make videos now. What they're doing on Instagram, they could do off YouTube from their phone. And with all this downtime Maurice has, he could actually do all that. I mean, what else is he really doing besides physical therapy, it seems like? Or playing video games and smoking weed. Do something productive where he could actually make money. But it just seems like they always want a shortcut. They always want to take the easy route. And after a while, people just get tired of someone always turning to complete strangers every single time they need help. She said she had a job before, but she had to quit to take care of Maurice, which I don't really understand, because I feel like with him being sick, and she was not able to be his caretaker, I'm sure they would have been able to find and set up some kind of arrangement so he could have a caretaker. It is really irritating because, like, there's so many days, like, I do YouTube, there's days like where I'm tired. I came up here sick, and I've almost damn near on the verge of losing my voice, sounding hoarse as hell, and I came up here struggling to speak for like 4 or 5 days in a row when I was super sick. I was literally doing videos out of my hospital bed after I had my son, because I still got to keep the paychecks coming in to help take care of my family. So it kind of just makes it hard to feel bad for people who have opportunities but just choose not to take advantage of them. Instead, it just feels like they're taking advantage of the situation. And Mandy ended up making this post after I had filmed the majority of this video. So some of the answers I posed in this video will be answered in this little Instagram story post she made. She said, just a FYI, I'm not my husband's IHSS provider yet. I had to go through background checks, fingerprinting, and take a class, which takes 3 to 4 weeks to process still, and I'm waiting, so I'm not getting paid for being his provider. He actually has a provider that comes in and helps for the hours he was approved for. Once all my stuff goes through, I will be able to be his provider, and we will have a little extra money coming in to help out. And that's the thing, like, she said she had to quit her job to take care of him, but she admitted right here that someone else is taking care of him during the day. She said it's not like around the clock care, so I'm assuming they probably like show up, they probably help bathe him, help him get dressed, help him use the bathroom, you know, just get him going for the day. And she goes on to say, we are trying to request more hours because they only want them to have a few. And she said, sadly, the state gave him very limited hours and his condition worsened since they originally came out. Since he hasn't been able to get to his rehab, but I switched his insurance to a rehab outpatient facility, which should be a way better with his rehab. The small income we do have monthly pays our rent, our car note, our phone bill, and utilities. 200 internet bill, 75 utilities, range between 200 and 350 monthly. It's not cheap, and we're doing the best we can. Before he got shot, he was working a good job doing HVAC. Okay, I don't remember that. I thought he was trying to go to school for a while, but I don't remember seeing him doing any kind of HVAC. It seemed like neither one of them were working. They both admitted they were going to school, and they admitted they strictly were going to school just so they could get paid, get those grants the government gives you for going to school, and they were just going strictly for the paycheck. And I don't remember Mandy working up until she started working at AT&T, and it appeared to be like those people that like stand in like Walmarts or Sam's Clubs, and you know, when you're walking, they walk up to you asking, oh, you know, who are you with your cell phone provider? Have you thought about switching? You know, and they just bother and harass you while you're trying to shop. Well, I guess that's what she was doing, but it didn't last long. She was only working there for not even a month, it seems like, and then she claims she had to quit because of Maurice. Okay, so we need to pause for a minute because I just remembered something. Whenever Maurice was shot, you know, I do what I do. I do what I can to get as much information as I can. I try to get like the 911 calls, arrest report, the police scanner audio, and I was able to obtain the police scanner audio from this incident, and the police said that they had spoken with multiple witnesses that day, and they said that the man who shot Maurice was not wearing a shirt, but he was wearing a black ski mask, and he came running down the street, and that's when he shot Maurice. So that does not line up with what Maurice and Mandy are claiming, that somebody bumped into Maurice and he said, "Are you going to say excuse me?" and shot him. Why was the man wearing a ski mask and running down the street if that was the case? That just does not make any sense at all. And why would you be getting aggressive with a man wearing a ski mask? This is just my personal opinion. The ski mask tells me that this man was trying to conceal his identity. So likely Maurice would have recognized him, or he didn't want anybody recognizing him. And this was something that was planned, so they wouldn't know who was doing this, because he knew he was going to shoot Maurice that day. So I feel like Maurice either owed someone money, ripped somebody off, pissed the wrong person off, and they got their get back. That's just what I think. And she said, "Not to put you in our business, but since we're asking for help, I feel like I should let it be known that we're needing help with what we don't get. We don't get any Section 8. It's on to say we get $74 in food stamps, which is like 2 bags of groceries. And they're cooking steady every single day. It doesn't look like Mandy or Maurice have been skipping any meals." And she says, "It's like 2 bags of groceries. We'll eventually get back on our feet, and my husband will. But for now, please be understanding and have a heart for what we're experiencing. We really appreciate all the prayers, the donations." I think Miss Moneybag Mandy is just going to have to get off her booty and go get herself a job. He has care for right now. And I think it's worse than just do what they need to do to increase his care. I don't even know if she'll be able to be his caregiver, knowing that they've done crimes together in the past and she has a background. But I was looking into it, and I did look into this website called Littler.com, which has like a lot of legal information. And it says that previously, California law prohibited individuals from working as IHSS caregivers if they have been convicted of certain offenses within the previous 10 years related to child abuse, elder abuse, or defrauding public assistance programs. And then they ended up expanding the bills, and it lists other criminal convictions that bar an individual. You can't have no aggressive convictions like trying to unaliving someone or trying to take someone's life, or SA, or any kind of sexual offenses or any sex offense where the individual is required to, sign onto a registry, and register every single month. I'm not seeing anything related to any stealing or drug offenses though, which that's what Mandy mainly has. And I feel like they should at least have, if you're going to be someone's caregiver, that you at least haven't been, busted with drugs for at least a few years. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see if she ends up getting approved. But even then, I feel like she's still going to be trying to ask people for help, because I feel like it's still not going to be enough in their eyes, because they're claiming they got the $1,900 rent and the $1,000 car payment. And why do you have a $1,000 car payment? That doesn't even make any sense. Get something within your budget. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.